Right, everyone,
Put that kid in.
This is the most exciting start to any one of our podcasts because we know this isn't going to get cut at all. So,
yeah, we should keep this. We should keep it going.
Well,
the start of the episode has me acting like a fucking gorilla.
I mean, I can try and introduce after that, but we could just leave that.
I think I introduced yourself.
Right, yeah. Hi everyone, welcome to the Blue podcast. This is the Red, White, and Blue show with me, Joe. I'm joined by Jack, Billy, and Conor, who you just saw doing the gorilla impression.
I was just at the safari park, so I was just showing you guys.
How is everyone today? All good?
Better now.
Yeah, better after that.
We'll see how nice I am when this video comes out.
Yeah. Before we get going on the podcast, we're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by New Year's Day. If you know anyone who'd enjoy these sorts of podcasts or anything else on the channel, please, recommend us, subscribe to the channel, put notifications on and everything. It really does help us out. And also don't forget to check out our new and improved merch. This week, we're doing something a little bit different. We're not sort of reviewing the NFL and NBA as much. We, as some people might have seen, the NFL each year does a top 100 ranking of the players. And within ourselves, we've had a bit of a secret vote from one another, and we've come up with a top 10 NBA and a top 10 NFL. So we could get some good debates going this episode. I'm gonna start by handing over to Billy, who's ready to reveal our top 10 for the NBA, which Jack and Conor have voted on.
Yeah. So I don't know very much about the NBA, so thankfully I didn't have to make one of these. Right, so we've got a couple of people that just didn't quite make the cut, unfortunately. I'm not sure who voted for them. So we've got Zion and Rudy Gobert. Does anyone want an honorable mention just before we get properly started, just to say your piece on them before we get properly going?
So I'll go with my honorable mention that I know is Zion Williams, because I know that the other player is definitely Jax, because I had Gobert. I had the Stifle Tower nowhere near my list. But no, Zion Williams, I think if he's not in it this year, Jack, I think you can probably agree that he'll probably be in it this next year, because this dude's I watched this video yesterday on stereotypes of NBA players, and they had him under the bully because this dude is just a freak of nature. His athletic ability is just absolutely a freak of nature. And if he starts to improve his jump shot to where he can actually stretch the floor and be outside, he's a scary player.
Have you seen his shoulders the size of Rondo's head?
Fucking massive.
Crikey.
Well, I saw. Yeah, I'm guessing. Yeah, you saying Jack must have been Rudy Gobert. Is that did his good performance in the Olympics have anything to help with that? Or are you basing it just off the NFL? Because I know everyone's getting a bit hyped on Rudy Gobert, or a bit of a quiet hype among sort of Instagram pages and things after he helped France along, but.
Well, I thought he had a decent season, and then he basically put a lot of work in, and basically France are very good now in the Olympics for basketball, and I think he is one of the main reasons. And I thought he at least needed to go 10th just because of that effort he put in and his defensive ability as well.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, no, cool. Okay, right. Sorry, Jack. No, carry on.
Now that I think about it, I do think I should have put Zion somewhere on my list. Yeah.
Oh well, you can't change it now, Jack. We're going in.
Yeah.
Locked in. Zion Williamson will be waiting for you in the car park.
Yeah.
I mean, of all people, I don't think you want Zion Williamson.
Yes, just with his hands in his pocket.
Yeah.
Zion Williams is someone, if I see in a dark alley, I'm running the other way as fast as I can. I'll still probably get caught.
Okay, right. Start 9 and 10. We have a tie break, everybody. So I don't know how you want to do this. You can either turn around, you can cover your eyes, but I think just kind of a blind vote, just see what happens. And just put your hand up who you think. Joe, you're more than welcome to join in this as well. You might help be the tiebreaker on this.
Yeah, because then I can be a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Okay, so between the two, we have Joel Embiid and James Harden. Put your hand up for Embiid, please. And put your hand up for Harden. Well, there you have it. We have Joel Embiid coming in at number 10 with only Jack voting there. And James Harden coming in at number 9. I mean, there's got to be something going there.
I don't respect Joel Embiid enough to put him anywhere near this list, and I don't think he's good enough for this list anyway. So,
but Jack really disagrees.
Fine talk straight away.
I think he's just off. I think he's just off the list. I'd put him top 15, top 20. I just think. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the stat. It was like most games averaging 40 points or more, and I think he has like over 100. Like I think he had like over 50. I think he had like 51 games in a row where he averaged over 40 points.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. That's just monstrous.
Not fan.
I'm not a fan either. There's players on this list that I can't stand, and Jack and I have talked about these players and how much I hate them. But part of me has to at least put respect on the name that they're good players, as much as I hate them.
I mean,
okay.
Does it change anything if you were to talk about sort of just this season or what you expect of them next season? Because obviously Harden had an off year or two while he was having problems and he was stuck in Houston. If you were not thinking sort of just as players or what they could do next season, would either of you change your mind? Would Conor, for example, see Embiid surpassing Harden over the next year for you?
I think he's gonna surpass him at least, but that's just my opinion. What about you, Conor?
I think if the downward spiral for Harden continues where he's not as efficient, because his defense is so bad, I do think that Embiid could end up being better and going into that spot above him.
Yeah. Well, also with Embiid, do you think the fact that Ben Simmons might eventually get traded away, maybe this year, do you think that'll help or hinder Embiid at all?
I think it hinders him because that's another superstar. That's one less player that defense that they're playing has to really focus on and give all their attention. So that means they can pretty much focus on just shutting Embiid completely down.
Yeah.
It kind of depends what they get in return, though. Yeah. Because if they get at least one good player to play alongside, Embiid could just take that player under his wing, kind of show him how to get the ball through to him so that he can score.
I know, right now the leading two for Ben Simmons are Portland and Sacramento.
Oh.
Yeah,
they're the leading two right now.
All right. Well, okay. If no one else has anything to say, coming in number 8, Chris Paul. Any objections? Any likes, dislikes?
I've made a mistake here.
I always put him 4th because he was so good during this season, and I was basing my list off of this season's performance, which is kind of why some of the more injured players didn't quite make my list.
Yeah.
Oh, son of a... Okay.
Are there any other potential Hall of Famers you're now thinking you might have missed off, Conor?
No.
Yeah, I think so.
No, but I left Paul off my list, and now I'm absolutely regretting it. I'm going to slide him in at 9th. I'm going to take Westbrook out and slide him in at 9th. I'm absolutely disgraced with myself.
So, if you look at your list now, where would you have put him now that you think about it?
Probably 5th. Probably 5th. If I could edit my list right now, I'd put him 5th.
That is quite high.
I completely forgot. In my defense, I thought I was just making an NFL list. When you told me NBA one as well, I made that within 2 minutes, just thinking of all the biggest players I could think of.
Well, in fairness, that is a good way of doing it. If you're thinking,
Jack, I sent you 9 players, and then went, oh, that's right, also Zion 10th. In all fairness, It was 6:30 in the morning. I just found out about it, and I was not functioning 100. I still have not had coffee.
Nice.
I'm not functioning 100% capacity right now.
Well, while we're on the topic of making the list, originally, so we had a bit more content to each one. I was going to make an NBA list, but I follow the NBA a bit, but not hugely. So my list, which I was doing while I was walking my dog this morning, sort of started boiling down to: can I actually name 10 top 10 players who might be in a top 10? And by number 10, I was sort of struggling a little bit, and I was going to ask the guys the question: does Porzingis still play in the NBA?
Yeah, he plays for Dallas. He plays for Jack's favorite team.
Okay, I
He's
almost
not.
He was just rubbish last year.
If I was required to do an NBA list, which I haven't contributed, I would have had Porzingis in at 10. Because
To be
I don't
clear,
think
I did
he'd
not
even make
contribute.
my top 50.
Yeah, I think he was absolute dog shit last year.
I'd like to say that was based off sort of 2015 highlight videos and the 2K rating. So
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll allow it.
yeah,
Okay.
We're allowing my gorilla, so we have to allow that.
yeah.
Right, coming at number 7, Damien Lillard. Gentlemen,
Yeah.
Another one we seem to
is
be
he that
agreed.
good?
He's just
Is that-
good.
That's exactly where I put him on my list.
I put him at 7, yeah.
Well, there you go. That was
Well,
nice
does
and
that
easy.
mean- you got 8. If you see, you both must have
You
put him
got
at
8,
7.
yeah, both put 7. Total agreement there. No worries. Carry
Yeah,
on straight away.
He's just solid. It's
Yeah. It's just too
Easy.
I wonder
Right.
what Damian Lillard would have to say, because I know he's quite a confident player who's been on the star of 2K. I don't know if you went to him. You're definitely number 7. You're not quite top 5. Wonder what he'd have to say.
Yeah.
okay, but if you look at our top 5, if you look at the top 5, I'm sorry, there might be one player that I put him in the top 5 over, but that's suspect.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Well, all right. Coming in number 6, LeBron James. This, I think, is unless. Oh,
I just want to say
that face is.
I didn't even put him in my list. I think like he had I just didn't think he played that well. Like,
I had him
he
number
starting
1.
to fall off the map.
Yeah.
He got injured. But
I had him number 1. He got injured, but he's still one of the most dominant forces in the NBA. He is still a guy who does. I mean, all right,
But
now
look at
I'm
where
irritated.
the Lakers ended up this year.
No, I'm
They
irritated.
barely made playoffs.
That's because frickin' Davis was out. He had nobody around him. But if we look at LeBron James,
Yeah.
all right,
I was
That's why, like,
that neither of you had a Laker on your list.
I had LeBron.
LeBron, yeah.
Yeah, he averaged 25 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists.
That sounds quite good.
In 2019, he averaged 25 points, 8 rebounds, 10 assists. So it's not like there's a
but
huge
we're talking
drop.
about this season, you know.
This season, he had barely a drop. His 3-point percentage was actually better. His field goal percentage was better. And he's playing less minutes. And he played
Didn't
less
quite
games.
make the finals, though, did they?
Yeah, but I mean, neither did Lillard.
What can I say? I wasn't
No one in
very
this list.
impressed.
There's only 2 players on my list that actually made the finals.
I mean, to be fair, looking at the way the points are distributed, Jack only needed to put him 10th in order for LeBron to make the top 5. So
Yeah.
that's how much of an influence Conor had in putting him 10th.
First, yeah, I put him first. I don't see how he's anywhere other than. I still think he's the best player. It's just he's unreal. I think he's going to show it this year with these new look Lakers. They're going to absolutely just walk the league with how if they all stay healthy, they're going to walk the league.
Yeah, they probably
Big
won't
goal.
all stay healthy though, but they have enough like depth that I'll be fine.
Yeah,
I
Right.
look forward to doing this.
was not expecting to hear that name so early.
Doing this next year, and Jack's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, I was wrong about LeBron.
Yeah.
I'll take back everything. He's first."
Yeah, Jack,
He's first.
Jack, you'll agree a forfeit if you do end up getting it wrong.
Well, what would the forfeit be?
Well, we could do. Marcus was asking.
You have to go and buy a LeBron James.
Yeah.
You know those action figures from
Space Jam.
the Space Jam. Yeah, the Space Jam
Like
action
Happy Meal
figures.
toys, something like that.
On those the ones where he had like an action figure in like supermarkets and people kept like peeling the face off.
Yes.
They get
Exactly
the face.
that is show.
Fine.
Yeah.
If there's actually any left at that point,
Yeah.
because it'll be a year from now.
Yeah.
They're all eBay for thousands of pounds.
I'll take a forfeit, which isn't thousands of pounds.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. We'll think of it later. Carrying on. Number 5, Luka Doncic.
Yes.
Yeah, I had a number
Everyone
6.
seems happy with that.
I had a number 5.
And Jacko, number 5. I mean, you seem pretty much in agreement there. You both happy with that?
I could put him 5th if I wanted to, honestly.
Yeah.
If looking at it now, you could swap him and 5th around pretty easily because Doncic is just. And again, I'll say this: I hate you, Vlade Divac, you stupid son of a, for passing on Doncic to draft Marvin Bagley III. Rot in hell.
MB3. Woo!
We passed on Doncic, a generational talent, for a player who has not been able to stay healthy for a full season, and we're now looking to trade as soon as possible when he hasn't even finished his rookie contract.
Conor, it makes me laugh how you already censored yourself by saying son of a when you've already sworn 3 times in the last 15 minutes.
It's because I got a notification on my phone from Tom talking to Josh, and so I'm just like, uh-oh.
Okay, cool. All in agreement. Number 5, Doncic. Number 4.
I was going to say.
Oh, hang on, sorry.
I was going to say Doncic has probably been solidified in that position because he carried, is it Slovakia, to the Olympic
gosh, yeah.
Shout, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great
Yeah.
shout.
I don't know if you guys saw the sort of picture meme going around the Instagram of the Slovakian game plan, which was just a flowchart of are you Luka Doncic, yes or no? Should you have yes or no?
If you're not, pass it to Luka Doncic. If yes, get the ball and score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, they had
And we
they
passed
have
on him.
Dragic as well.
Dragic is pretty good.
Yeah.
That's why we want him in our team. It's like being teased at the moment.
I want a lot of players in my team, Jack, so that we're not one of the worst in the NBA, but that just doesn't happen.
Conor. Right. Enough of your victim complex, Conor. Number 4, Nikola Jokic. Jokic? I always forget how to pronounce his name. It's him,
maybe
Joker.
we could do that as well. Maybe one of them says Jokic and the other one says Jokic.
Yeah, number 4. Any complaints?
I had him at number 3.
I had him at number 6.
He was the MVP of the entire league last year, though.
Yeah, I know. I just think he's decent, but he didn't turn my head round that much.
I disagree, but that's fine.
This may be foreshadowing, but we are doing the NFL one after this, and I think we're going to have the exact same talk when we talk about Aaron Rodgers. But I think
I'm a bit worried about that one.
But yeah, no, I think I've mentioned this in a previous podcast we've done, but about Jokic. But the thing that I love about him is he just has so much confidence that he just sort of like throws round the back passes, and he just does it so casually. It's not
I just saw him yesterday in a highlight reel do a behind the back Euro step, and I'm just like, okay, you're 7 foot. You're not supposed to be doing that here.
Yeah.
Wait, just for clarity, because I literally don't know what that is. Can you please tell me?
So a Euro step is where you do like a 2-step where you step to one side and then you instantly shift your weight and go back to the other side, and he put the ball behind his back while like doing that, and then just did an easy layup going through like 2 defenders.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I think I've got that.
Euro step's one of like the most like you have to follow NBA to know that term. But if we follow the NBA, you hear it. Jack can probably back me up. You hear it pretty much every single game once you actually like listen to one game.
Yeah, you hear it like probably at least once a week if you're watching plenty of games.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
To be fair, I've heard the term, but that's because when I have played 2K in the past, going back to it, and I randomly flick the thumbstick, and sometimes it'll tell me I've done a Euro step.
You're like, I've done a what? A Euro what? Oh,
Yeah.
fair enough.
It's just like FIFA. They just scream soccer moves at you.
Yeah.
Conor, that's
I don't know half of them.
Oh, no.
Well, you will now you've got
yeah.
Ronaldo. Whenever you watch a Manchester United game,
you're gonna learn.
Ronaldo's doing this and that.
Someone will say a move, and I'll be like, I understood that reference.
Yeah.
I'm gonna become Captain America for a season, just being like, I understood that. I know what that is.
You got the reference, yeah. Okay. Right. Coming in number 3, Stephen Curry.
Yes.
Yes.
I put him in number 3. Yes.
I put him in number 5.
I was just also impressed by his All-Star game as well. He did really well in that.
Yeah, but everybody does well in an All-Star game. My grandmother could go into the All-Star game and probably drop at least 10 points. I mean, their scores are like almost 200 points a team. I mean, it's just, But no, I get why you put him so high. I don't think against putting him that high. I just didn't.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Cool. Glad we're happy with that. Number 2, Kevin Durant.
I also put him in number 2.
I put him down.
I put him at 4th.
You're bringing him down.
I put him 4th purely because I think it's just kind of, and I know it's stupid to do, but I kind of knock points off of a player when they have to join up with a bunch of other good players just to be somewhat relevant and actually do well in the playoffs. And then there's his injury, of course, that kind of ruined their chances of going to the finals. But when you have to team up with Curry and Klay Thompson at one point to win a ring, and then now to try and win another one, you have to get together with Harden and Kyrie. I kind of lower my evaluation of you as a player.
But also his massive foot definitely put him from 1st to 2nd for me. Like, because that basically lost him the game, which would have taken him to the finals as well.
Yeah, I think if he made the finals, I would have had him at like 2 or 1, but I think I probably would have had him at 2 because I think number 1, you just can't put anybody over him, even if what happened this season didn't happen.
Okay. Finally, number 1. I think we know who it's going to be. It's Giannis Antetokounmpo. Got there in the end.
All right, let's keep this short. Let's not have this be a whole episode in itself again.
Last time we stepped into this realm, I think we ended up going for 20 or 25 minutes on it.
Yeah.
I think
you just start talking about it for like 20 minutes now.
Yeah. All we could do is we'll just have like a break in the podcast. It will see episode 2 times this. And it'll be like anything you need to know about Giannis.
We'll blink and it's like, oh, we've been going for an hour and a half. Have we moved on to Giannis, guys?
Whoops. Yeah. We should be NFL one to do, guys.
Hey, Tom, I know you wanted shorter videos, but this one's like 3 hours because we spent an hour talking about Giannis alone.
Sorry.
So if you want to like release like 2 videos, like 2 episodes from just this one recording, that'd be great. Cut out the gorilla
for a week.
Yeah, as Conor revealed earlier, Conor, although we're talking about how much we love Giannis and we've spoken about it before, Conor did have LeBron above him. Although to be honest, I did expect him. I expected him to get the full 20, the first from both of you. So, are you thinking now, Conor? Now you've been reminded in your mind about how much we love Giannis here. Whether you put him number 1?
No, I still have him number 2. But I think one thing you could look to see how good he just is as a player is look at Shaquille O'Neal, who's my favorite player of all time. Hands down, Shaquille O'Neal is my favorite player of all time. The most dominant player to ever step foot on a court.
It's kind of like that old school bullying basketball, isn't it?
Shaq says Giannis is better than him.
Really?
Yeah, Shaq is. If you look it up, Shaq has actually gone on like TV and said, "Yeah, I think Giannis is a better player than I ever really was." Which with Shaq, he never
humble,
said.
Though. He is.
He can be pretty humble, but no one's ever heard him say that before. He's never admitted anybody's better than him.
Wow. That's a tough one.
Yeah,
Well,
I think we've got a pretty good top 10 there. We've had a few debates, which is kind of what we set out to do. But overall, quite a few places you agreed on, and in general, you were sort of 2 places within one another.
Yeah,
we have breaking news out of Barcelona. If we break for a little bit of soccer,
Okay.
Marilyn Pjanic looks to be on his way out of Barcelona. Currently negotiating a loan with Beşiktaş.
That's where Ozil went, is it?
No,
he went to Fenerbahce, didn't he?
Yeah, he went back to Fenerbahce. It's like I kind of want Pjanic at United just purely because he's got to be better than most of who we have.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Well, I'm just going to rattle off the top 10 then. So we have John Embiid, James Harden, Chris Paul, Damien Lillard, LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant at number 2, and finally number 1, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I didn't
realize
the 4 spot was shared between 3 different players: Jokic, Jokic, and Jokic.
Yeah,
I just love how he said each. I love how each name was said with like a different inflection. It was like whimsical for one. It was straightforward.
Well,
it's like
really happy.
Whimsical while his cat's hanging off of his door.
Right. Okay.
So,
there you have it, guys. I'm going to hand over Jack now for the NFL top 10s.
Top 10 NFL.
Yeah, we got more debates to be had. Now,
right, I'm gonna make this saying now. If this video gets 50 likes and at least 100 views, the next episode I will wear a gorilla suit.
You actually own one.
I don't have one. I don't have one, but I know I can find one in America for like $10.
Right, you heard it here, guys. You heard it here.
Yeah, come on, guys.
I just love the Billy. That was perfect timing.
That was awful timing. I did not enjoy that.
Let's make this happen.
Yeah, please happen. Time stamping that. That's good.
Yeah.
27 minutes and 30 seconds. Billy spits out drink.
Right.
0001. Conor does gorilla.
So there's quite a few more players in this one because 3 people are making lists. So we actually have 15 different players. I'm just going to quickly say the people who didn't quite make top 10: Hopkins, Ramsey, Hill, Garrett, and Matthew. I think I said that last one, right?
Oh. So, yeah, there's a couple in there I'm surprised, but especially as 2 of them are my picks.
I had one.
Yeah,
I had one player. I had one player there that was one of my picks that didn't make it.
Right. So that means in general, Conor agreed with Joe and Billy and I, but Billy and I didn't quite see eye to eye.
No.
In general, you all agreed quite well.
YouTube fight.
Yeah. I was prepared to do this the whole time.
Aren't I brawling Josh at some point? I could swear that Josh and I are fighting each other at some point.
YouTube boxing.
Yes.
Hey, that'll bring us some solid.
Yeah.
I mean, if we see anything from the Jake Paul fight, we know that'll bring in some cash.
Oh God.
I was gonna say
I want to take up from this is Hopkins and Ramsey. So Joe had Hopkins at 9, and Billy had Ramsey at 9.
Yeah.
And I had neither of them in my top 10.
About that?
I mean,
yeah. You go first. You defend.
Okay. So hear me out. Jalen Ramsey went up against DK Metcalf twice, DeAndre Hopkins twice. He went against Devontae Adams. He went up against there's another big name that I'm forgetting. But that's 5 weeks.
If you can't remember his name, he's not a big name.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure he's. I've probably named. He might have. It might have been the Saints. He might have gone up against Michael Thomas as well. So that's. I can't. Don't quote me. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember the season that well. But that's 5 weeks out of 16, and he didn't allow more than I think it was something like 5 catches each, and under 80 yards for all of them. So I don't know what to tell you guys. Like those are like. So those are all top, maybe 7 top 7 receivers, like in the entire league, and he's held them easily to like fairly average numbers. He's made them look distinctly average.
Well, so I will say why I disagree with that pick, and it's because the best player at cornerback all of last year was Xavier Howard for the Dolphins.
Hang on.
With leading the NFL with 10 interceptions. And okay, yeah, fine. He held up some wide receivers. Xavier Howard held all quarterbacks to no more than 51.5% completion percentage. And that's going up against the Bills. That's going up against Russell Wilson. That's going up against Kyler Murray. That's going up against there's so many. That's going up against Patrick Mahomes. That's going up against Derek Carr. There's so many good quarterbacks he shut down and leading the NFL with 10 picks.
So, okay, I'm not denying Xavier Howard is probably he's probably like the next couple after my top 10, I reckon. But Jalen Ramsey's been about for what 5-6 years now. They know he's a premier lockdown corner. They game plan around him so that you don't specifically do not throw in his zone, his man, whatever. So his stats are naturally going to be much lower than that of Xavier Howard, where in a Dolphins team that they weren't the best, okay, Conor? I'm sorry, but they weren't amazing.
Oh, no, insult my team. They're trash. I get it.
And like people just say, look, so they're more likely to take risks against the Dolphins' defense now. But okay, maybe next year they might do a similar thing where, like, look, he led the league in interceptions. You probably should watch out for him. So it's one of those things where you become such a big name. Like, he wasn't he was a good name, but he wasn't massive, if that made sense, before this year.
Yeah. I mean, I get where you're coming from. I just think if I'm not even putting on my one Dolphins player on this list who was the best cornerback last year, then I'm definitely not going to put Jalen frickin' Ramsey on my list.
I mean, yeah, look, it's a pick. It's just an opinion, and we can carry on. I'll let Joe defend Deandre Hopkins next. I
was gonna. Now hearing Billy's defense, he had a pretty well struck argument. I'm now going to defend DeAndre Hopkins by basically just saying I wanted another wide receiver and I quite like him. But no, to be honest, Hopkins, I don't know if he had that Hail Mary catch among like 4 defenders, which like is cool at the time, but he's not the first person to catch a Hail Mary. Like, it's cool. It doesn't make you a top 100 player because all sorts of players do it. It was good. I don't know if he got player of the season or not. I don't remember watching him or something. I think it might have done. But no, I think he's been solid as in the first year in a Cardinals uniform. He did pretty well. I enjoyed watching him, and I thought wide receivers being such a big part of the sort of passing NFL we see nowadays. Like we see a few sort of standout running backs, but a lot of the time the big plays, the turning plays in NFL I find at the moment are on par. And I think having only one wide receiver in the top 10 was going to be a bit of a disservice. And I think putting Hopkins, I mean, admittedly, I think on the official one, he's only 11 or 12, so he's not far outside. So it wouldn't be unfair to put him outside. But I still, in terms of his talent,
Hopkins came in number 8.
Oh, did he? Oh, yep. Oh, okay. So I was.
Friends.
What am I even having?
Sorry, guys.
You're
fully in the right. That's why I came in with such a good argument, was because I had to defend Jalen Ramsey because he wasn't in the top 10.
And here I am. I'm going to try and defend Tyreek Hill here.
Oh, I think you're going to.
Here we go.
And first of all, he was 15th, so he was just outside. But it's funny because it baffles my mind that he dropped down 7 spots. He went up 7 spots, but he's still not in the top 10 when his stats got so much better. His stats from this last year are very good, and they're a lot better than his 2019 year. He had 87 receptions for almost 1,300 yards, 15 touchdowns, and he averaged almost 10 yards a reception.
So for you, is he like a most improved player rather than?
He was already one of the best wide receivers in the game in 2019, and the fact that he's only gotten, if you compare it, his 2019 season was only 58 receptions for only 806 yards and only 7 touchdowns. So you see the big jump he's made when in 2019 he was already considered one of the best wide receivers in the game. I slid him in at 10th because I thought, a player to be that good and then get even better. He does have Patrick Mahomes. I get it. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. But you still have to be a very competent wide receiver. And to go from being a really good wide receiver in the league and getting that much better, I just thought he well enough deserved going in at 10th.
Yeah. I mean, the only I think you're right about that sort of stigmatism you get when someone like, I know Devontae Adams gets it a lot, Tyreek Hill gets it a lot, Michael Thomas used to get it with Drew Brees. When you've got such a talent throwing to you at QB, it almost, like, although you put up amazing stats, it almost brings you down a notch, because people just say, well, when all you have to do is get a yard of separation and the quarterback delivers it to your fingertips, there's not much you have to do. You can say, like, all you're doing is fighting for that yard, working on your step to break off. Like a lot of people say to Michael Thomas, people say, like, all he does is, Drew Brees was playing, was he broke off the line one way or the other, got that yard or two of separation, and Drew Brees delivered him on the slant or the drag or whatever. And I think sometimes it's true with some players, like they get a lot of their stats that way. But
like
it's still,
Brady's quarterback, like any of the wide receivers for Brady.
well, I mean, because then you start bringing down Mike Evans. Stat.
I think it's more Patriots wide receivers.
Yeah, the Patriots.
He didn't have a lot of great. And for me, a big person to look at for like that kind of stigmatism was when Peyton Manning was on the Colts before he moved over to the Broncos. I remember hearing for years. My favorite player of all time is Peyton Manning. I'm not ashamed to admit that. I think he's the best player to ever step foot on the field. But I remember for years you would hear Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne. They'd be like, "Oh, they're not nearly as good as people say they are because they have. It's just because they have Peyton Manning throwing to them, and he's one of the greatest of all time." And then it's like, they were still
still pretty good receivers.
No, because Reggie Wayne still did amazingly even after he left.
Yeah.
And then Harrison, I think, retired first.
All right. Well, I think we've all defended our sort of outliers there. Our slightly.
I've got. It's not my top 10. One honorable mention: Quentin Nelson. The fact he's 31. I think he's 31 on the top 100 is just disgusting. Quite frankly, I think they got to give the big guys a bit more love. Quite frankly.
Who got what?
Quentin Nelson. Where is? I'm just looking for him now. They got 33. He got 33. He's the highest rated lineman in the entire 100.
Yeah, they don't respect the linemen.
And it has no respect for them, and I think it's horrible. And I think they should be. He should be way higher up.
I think
same goes for Bakhtiari, who comes in at 36. Both of them just insane.
Quentin Nelson's one of the linemen pioneering to get pancake blocks added to stat sheets, isn't he?
I think he is.
Yeah. He puts up many, and it's all on his highlight reels. He's like,
that's how you know. That's how you know you're dominant. Where you are so good, you're like, I'm pioneering to try and get a new stat because I'm just so good at it.
Yeah. Well, they only started recording sacks in the 80s, I think, or late 70s.
You want to know what's crazy as well? I don't know if you looked, Billy. Is Quentin Nelson actually dropped 4 spots this year?
Yeah, I just saw that. That's mental.
So he was inside the top 30, and now he's apparently dropped. Even though he turned in a third straight first team All-Pro season.
Yeah,
and yet he's outside the top 30 and dropped.
No respect.
He is the first offensive lineman to ever do it in NFL history.
Where do you think he should be?
What, to get dropped in the 100 and then go first team All-Pro?
Yeah, he dropped in the 100, setting the record for the first offensive lineman in NFL history to have 3 straight first team All-Pro seasons.
Oh my god!
I mean, in fairness,
how does that make sense?
in terms of getting selected for the Pro Bowl, who else?
He also was there. He was selected for the Pro Bowl as well.
Yeah, no, he was definitely there.
Right.
He was first team All Pro and in the Pro Bowl.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
He only gave up in over 1,000 snaps. He let up 1 sack. Just one.
Yeah, that is obscene.
They're literally already calling him the greatest offensive lineman in Colts history, and yet he is 33rd and dropped.
Yeah, I mean, But then again, who else can you say is a famous Colts lineman?
Oh, Jeff Saturday.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, there.
He was. If you look at him, he was a center for pretty much all of Peyton Manning's years.
Okay. Well,
and I only really know his name because, as I said, Peyton Manning's my favorite player, and I followed the Colts for a very long time. So I know lots of players people probably have not heard of.
Yeah, you got me there.
Who can name a Colts lineman? Me.
Yeah, I was going to say we've almost been going 20 minutes on NFL, and
we haven't even started. Yeah,
we need to delve into
this. 10. Josh Allen. He wasn't on anyone apart from Billy's list. So, Billy, why do you put him on that?
I mean, look, it's just a case of fitting people in. I really like Jalen Ramsey, and who else? I think I put Myles Garrett in my number 10 because I just thought he's like easily the best like defensive lineman.
As long as he doesn't swing his helmet.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I just really liked. Yeah, if he can get his anger under control, but like I really liked Myles Garrett.
Wait.
Someone had to drop.
Wait, you put Myles Garrett as the top defensive lineman. What sport does Aaron play?
Oh no! Wait, no! I'm not spoiling that. Hang on, I'm not spoiling it. I'm not spoiling my top 10 for you, Joe. Okay.
Moving forward.
I just really like defensive linemen. Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I would be fair back, Billy. If I didn't want to put 4 QBs in my
I'm a defensive guy. I'm a defender. I can't help that.
I put 4 QBs. I don't care. I mean, it's funny.
We're 3.
We're debating this.
I've got 2 or 3. I can't remember. So yeah, I'm just trying to make.
Josh are debating who's got the worst trim. We're debating this, and Josh and Tom are debating who's got the worst trim out of the 2 of them.
Okay. Oh no. I'm just picturing that now.
Make that. He was asking about polls for the Blue podcast the other day. I think that should be one.
That's a great one.
That's a great one. Yeah, because I think it's on the senior chat because Josh just got a brand new trim, and I jokingly said it looks like shite.
No, we should have a elimination bracket. There's at least 16 of them.
March Madness.
Yeah.
March Madness with trims.
Yeah.
I have a feeling Billy will probably be in the final.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah.
No.
Sexy bastard, you.
Wait, say it again. Say it again.
Yeah, I just called Josh's new trim. I called it a dead trim, and then Josh said, "Well, at least it's better than Tom's."
I'm just going to respectfully decline to roast my boss in front of.
Yeah, right.
How many people watch?
I haven't commented.
Yeah.
Right. Number 9. Lamar Jackson. He was on Connor's. No one else's.
Yeah, I put him number 6.
So much for we all agree on this. I thought I was expecting.
We are very much not agreeing on this right now.
There is no agreement so far.
Don't worry, there's about to be.
But no, I put him number 6 purely on the fact that again he's coming off an NFL, MVP season, and it's not like he's had a terrible year. I think to drop out of the top 10. I think he still had a good enough year and did well enough to lead that team into the playoffs and deep into the playoffs enough to where I think he deserves to be at least in the top 10.
Yeah. I mean, I understand it, but the sort of, I know you've put him 6, but in terms of like he's number 5 on my like top 5 QBs. I won't reveal, like obviously give away the rest of, because I might start giving away the rest of my top 10. But I know, like, I can understand why you'd want to put him in the top 10, but 6 seems. I know when he's had a good year as well. But when there's other positions to put in, and there's we've got plenty other QBs, I'd put ahead of him.
Yeah, fair enough.
Whereabouts would you guys put him? Would you put him like 13th kind of area, or?
I'd probably put him a bit higher than that, maybe 18th, 19th.
He was 24th in the top 100 by the NFL, which I was kind of shocked by.
Actually being nice, so
yeah, he dropped 23 spots, which I think was completely unfair by the NFL. But you know what? I disagree with the NFL on a lot of things, like Xavier Howard only being 17th. But that's none of my business.
I mean, I think I better not check where Mike Evans is, because I might start getting upset.
Oh, I'm going to check for you now.
Hang on, Jamal.
Yeah.
Mike Evans, top 100.
Do you reckon he even made it?
Ooh.
He must have made it. He's got to be top 30 at least.
No.
I don't think he is.
He's 48th.
Yeah.
He just breaks the top 50. He drops 18 spaces from where he was last year. He was 30th last year. So he's gone in his career in the last.
With Brady a quarterback.
Yeah. So in 2017 he was 29th, and then in 2019 he was 53rd. He dropped all the way down to 30th, and now he's all the way back to 48th.
It's almost it's Brady tax. It's Brady throwing to him. Plus,
for sure, absolutely.
In fairness, his receptions have been reduced because Brady loves throwing to Scotty Miller now
and Chris Godwin.
Yeah. So I can understand it. I'm not as fuming as I expected to be.
I was going to be like, no, he's 74th.
Yeah.
And then the Joes look like, I can't be here anymore. I need to go cry.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving swiftly on.
Right. Yeah. Number 8, Travis Kelce.
Yay! You all agreed.
Yeah, I put Travis Kelce, and I put him 9th. So not.
Yeah, I think he was 8th.
He's the best. He's the best tight end, barely.
Yeah,
I think he's just holding on to that top spot. I think Kittle's making a good run for it, but Kelce's just so good. You cannot put him above Kelce.
Yeah, didn't Kittle get injured towards the end of last season as well?
Yeah, I think that also affected my list.
Didn't help. So I think because he came, I think he was like 51 or something. As Kittle. I look close.
I know, and everyone's like, "Oh, Kittle's catching on Kelce's toes," but I don't think
Kelce was number 5.
I don't think.
I think 5 was high, but not that much higher.
No, just a couple.
Also,
spots.
Darren Wallace was top 30.
Yeah, I don't think Darren Waller's too far off the top tight end debate.
Yeah. I mean, by the way, shout out to the Kelce family. Right. But shout out to the Kelce parents.
Yeah,
I don't know if y'all know this, but the Kelces have 2 kids in the NFL.
Kelce,
who was 92nd in the top 100.
Yeah, Jason Kelce is ridiculous.
As a 34-year-old center, and their sister is also a recording artist. Who I don't know if you guys have seen. There's a video of the Kelce brothers playing each other and the sister singing the national anthem for the game.
I have seen that. That's nice.
Yeah. So that is a talented freaking family.
Well, yeah. I mean, going on the family tangent. There's I don't know if you follow. I don't know how many. Excuse me. I don't know how many of you follow rugby, but basically, New Zealand are really good at rugby. Okay.
They are very good at rugby.
They're very good at rugby. Okay. And there's one family that produced. Sorry.
And in other news, the sky is blue.
In other news, the sky is blue. Our sky is.
I don't know how much you guys know. Okay, I'm just painting broad strokes right now.
I'm tweeting that.
But no, there's one family who produced 3 All Blacks in the last 5 years, and they've all played together, and they were the first the first, not triplets, but like the first 3 brothers to all play in the same game, and then to all. My sky is blue.
Tweet. Send it.
Sent.
Don't
like it. If you're watching the video, go like my tweet.
I don't even get the quote on that. That's a bit hurtful.
Oh, that's sorry. That's my bad. I'll delete it and redo it.
Edit that, please. No, and they're the first 3 to play together, and the first 3 to all score in the same game. And their family, they live on like a farm in I can't remember where they are. I think on the South Island. And they live on a massive ranch. And they're like they've got like instead of Home Sweet Home, it just says like all black breeders.
That's it.
Sorry,
That can be taken a lot of different ways, saying all black breeders.
Yeah, all
That's
black,
a little bit
yeah.
suspect there, Billy.
I thought it was a fun anecdote and tangent, guys. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
There's actually a lot of. If you
Don't
look in the
dislike
NFL,
video though, that's not a good thing. Actually, engagement's engagement. Like it if you like it. I don't care.
We'll go on to
Yeah.
our first tiebreaker now.
Yeah.
So, are we gonna do this by vote? Point up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Point up for one. Point down for another. Right.
Okay.
Point up for TJ Watt and point down for Davante Adams.
ooh,
Wait, is this for like? So we pointing down for 6? Wait,
so-
we're on 7 now.
Up would be 6, and down would be.
Hang on.
Whoever wins goes.
No, Jack, you're confusing me. You're confusing. Whoever wins gets 6. So up for TJ, down
Yeah.
for Davante.
Yeah. Right. So, now that you know what it is, 6th is TJ Watts and 7th is Davante Adams. Oh,
Was it a 2-1 vote, or were we all in agreement?
yeah. You know what? You guys can just go kiss it.
I think we
I
know
have not
who
been agreed
chose
with
what
once.
now.
I think we know who was in agreement.
I was not agreed with once this entire stream. I'm upset. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I feel like I'm being grouped up upon because I'm American. I think that's racist.
I mean, do you want? Yeah, seeing as you lost the vote, do you want to go first defending?
Yeah,
Devon?
go on, defend Davante.
Yeah, I'm going to claim racism in a blind vote here. Let me just actually try and
Find some evidence.
find my evidence here. You know, it's not going to be hard to find because Davante Adams was ranked number 6. So the spot that we would have put him in if he won was his actual spot in the top 100. Funny enough. And then if you look at his stats are crazy. His stats every year are crazy. And I think it's funny because Rodgers was hurt most of this last year, wasn't he? Was it this year or last year that he was injured a lot?
I think it was last year. I think Davante Adams really came to his own because he was healthy this year.
I will say though, having 115 receptions for just under 1,400 yards, with averaging 12 yards a reception and 18 touchdowns, it's a very good year.
I don't agree.
I don't disagree with that. Yeah,
I'm not. It's funny because I have a different. I'm not going to say that because we'll talk about. There's another football family that we'll be discussing how both of them are very, very good, probably in the next 2 minutes.
Yeah,
but no, I mean I can see why you guys picked TJ Watt. I just disagree.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't. I had them 5. I had TJ Watt 5, Davante Adams 6. So like, I can't I have them in that order anyway. But I just think TJ Watt doing from outside linebacker, what linebackers should do, but also doing an edge rushers. He's having sort of doing everything, and if Aaron Donald wasn't Aaron Donald, then he would have been defensive player of the year by a mile. Like he has such a good.
I have him below someone else. Besides, dang it, Billy. I actually have him below his brother. To be fair, I have his brother on my top 10.
Oh really? Oh right. Well, mate, yeah. We might, if we haven't heard from him yet, does that mean
is he still to go on the list, Jack, or is it just someone who is not even in the top 10?
I thought you did a typo. To be fair.
Did you think I put
TJ Watt's not even in this position?
I put yeah.
You thought I put TJ Watt instead of JJ Watt, which is his brother who plays defensive end for the Cardinals.
I don't really follow.
No, yeah, his older brother is JJ Watt, who I think is like a 3 or 4 time defensive player of the year now. I just thought he did Super Bowl.
That would have changed things around a bit. I would put Davante above, TJ in 7th, and
I win by default.
JJ would have been 10th.
Oh,
just
right.
below Lamar.
I win by default. I win that Devontae Adams argument by default. Let's go.
Fine. We've been, yeah. Okay. Well, if that's
No, I get the confusion though, Jack. Fair enough. I just can't wait for Billy to come back so I can tell him that he still lost the debate.
Yeah. I think you have to take back everything you said about being voted against now.
I'm gonna not claim racism anymore.
Even they're still next to each other. I think, in fairness, they play completely different positions, and they both had.
It's hard to compare them when they're too different.
They both had career high seasons. So
where did Billy go? By the way, what is wrong with this kid?
His headphones have died.
He sent some.
Okay.
He's on his way back, but yeah, I mean, it's a difficult debate to have when one plays outside linebacker and one plays receiver, and they both had fantastic seasons, so it's difficult to say. But I mean, to be honest, I'm happy with them either way around. I would just personally like to see a defensive player. And
I responded to Billy.
I think that for another video, like later on at some point, we need to make like our best team, put who we think is the best player in that position, and like say that's our team.
There will be so much debating. Plus, how would we like split ties and everything? Because in terms of some positions like running back and receivers and on defense especially, we're all going to say a different player, one different player, and then how do we?
I have a feeling we won't for quarterback though.
I think we'll be pretty set on quarterback, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it'll be running back and wide receiver, where it's like all of us are saying 15 different players, and none of us want to agree on one or two.
Yeah, basically. But no, but it's a good. I think we will have to do that. I think it will just have to be a long episode.
Hey Tom, I know you don't like to cut.
Yeah.
You cut Billy leaving, and also would be great if you could cut the gorilla out from the beginning.
No, keep the gorilla.
Gorilla's timestamp. The gorilla's in for the long haul.
Hashtag keep the gorilla. Oh, I really hope that this doesn't get 50 likes. Oh, I'm gonna be dead.
We can find those pretty easy.
You imagine me.
Do you guys want to move on, and perhaps Conor and I can debate, and we'll fill in Billy when he gets back?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So number 5 is Tom Brady. So you'll never guess, but someone didn't put them in their list.
I'm imagining it's Conor.
It's Billy.
Oh, it was Billy.
Yeah,
why didn't Billy put him?
I had him second.
Conor put him second. You put him 4th.
Well, in fairness, wait, and he got 5th.
Yeah, you got 5th from Conor basically put him second.
I know.
Fair enough, but Billy's a moron.
As long as he's top 5, I'm fine. But he's shown that changing teams and changing system.
It's shown that Belichick was not the one carrying this Patriots team for forever.
Yeah, I mean, admittedly, he still has a fantastic coach in Arians, and he's got a fantastic team built around him. He brought Gronk, and he's got like one of the best receiving cores in the league. So, admittedly, he's done like it's not like he's slumming it now, and he's
absolute weapon.
Yeah.
There he is.
Billy, we're just talking about how you didn't put Tom Brady in your list at all. Want to fill us in on that, or did you forget him?
No, it's not that I didn't forget him. I just didn't think that he had. I mean, obviously, he won a Super Bowl. Not saying that he's not worthy of a place in the top 10. Don't get me wrong. I just preferred other guys. Like, you can only have 10 spots, and I just didn't think that he'd done as much. Obviously, he's got really good receivers, which helps. He's got a connection with Gronk as well. Got a really good coach who's helping him. He's got a great defense on his side as well.
And won a Super Bowl.
But he won a Super Bowl thanks to the defense mainly. If you think about it, the defense. If it turned into a straight shootout, Mahomes would have won that, no questions. But the fact that the defense really shut down Mahomes and all of his weapons, they did it so effectively that sold it for me.
Fair enough. By the way, we also missed out. It turns out that the whole vote between Devontae Adams and T.J. Watt was not supposed to be a vote. I put J.J. Watt as my 7 pick, and Jack thought I put T.J. Watt, and it was a spelling error.
Yeah. My bad, boys. My bad.
JJ Watt hasn't played in a year.
I thought he played this last year.
I don't think he did. Or if he did, not very well.
He played a god game. Yeah, he didn't have a big season though. I don't think.
All right, let me see here.
But
Yeah,
he
had 5 sacks. He had 5 sacks on a pick and a touchdown.
So he had a third of what TJ was.
Yeah, so TJ averaged a sack a game.
Yeah, okay. You know what? You can change that to TJ Watt. We'll just stick with what we had. I thought JJ Watt had a way better year than he did. That's on me. He had 52. He had a way better year than his 2019 year when he was injured, though. I'll say that, but that's also because he's kind of injured.
Yeah. I think either way, we're all in agreement that the Watt family are pretty good.
I think there's 3 of them now because there's a fullback Watt as well.
Derek playing fullback tight end for San Diego. No, not San Diego anymore. It's
He was at San Diego.
He was for forever.
Is it Los Angeles Chargers now? Los Vegas Chargers. I think.
Yeah, it's TJ Watt, JJ Watt, and Derek Watt, who is a Pittsburgh Steeler now.
Okay, they're playing together.
Yeah, so I think that's the whole thing is TJ and Derek are playing together. They're trying to convince JJ to come to the Steelers before he retires so that they can all play together. Their parents can wear one jersey for once.
I mean, you say playing together in loose terms, surely, because I'm pretty sure no team really uses fullbacks that much anymore, and also I don't really see Derek Watt play that often.
Could you imagine though seeing JJ Watt and TJ Watt staring you down as a quarterback? I would pee myself.
Yeah,
I would absolutely just run and hide.
It would be worse for the tackle who sees them both and knows either way he's blocking one of them, if not.
Yeah,
he's like, I'm going to be with.
That's if they're both playing on the same side. If they're both playing on the same gap,
they will. They will do that.
Gap, both guards would be.
Yeah.
Or both tackles, even. Sorry.
You know who's an angry person? Whenever I think of JJ Watt, one of the most violent people I've ever seen in the NFL in my life is Brian Cushing. I don't know if any of you know who he is.
Yeah.
But he was a linebacker with the Texans for a while, who was very good, but is one of the most terrifying and just angry people I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's like him and Ray Lewis ran the mid-2000s for linebackers.
Yeah, he smashed a helmet into his head, was bleeding down his face, and just kept playing. He did not care.
No, he was hard as nails.
Yeah, he was terrifying.
Yeah. Right, so where are we on the list?
So we're up to we just
Brady at number 5.
You're Tom Brady at 5. Okay.
Well, right. I mean, we didn't. We had Tom Brady at 2 or 3, and Billy pulled him down to 5. Is what we really did.
I'm playing the long game, guys.
Well, number 4, Derrick Henry.
Yeah, that's where I had him. Yeah, that's where
I think I had him at 3.
I'm at 5.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're all pretty happy.
I think I'm happy with that. I don't love it, but I'd rather be higher. But
the thing I love about Derrick Henry is I love seeing all the size comparisons. Like he's the same height and weight as Donald Trump, I think.
That's a very random stat. Donald Trump's 6'4".
What position does he play?
He's our running back.
Okay.
No, yeah, Derrick Henry. I'll show a picture. Derrick Henry is a terrifying human being.
Oh no, not denying that. He's absolutely mental. Like he's a freak of nature.
No, I'm just showing for Jack because Jack doesn't know. This dude he's scary. He's just, he looks like this.
His dreads make him look like a predator, not like a the alien predator.
Yeah, not in a way that's going to be offensive or anything or get us canceled, right, Billy?
Not Benjamin Mendy predator. I'm talking.
Not Benjamin Mendy predator.
I'm talking like the alien.
My stomach hurts laughing. Oh no! Wasn't there that one clip of him? Oh yeah, perfect. Found it. Josh Norman. Speaking of people I hate in the NFL. Here's him stiff arming the crap out of Josh Norman. That's going to be so demoralizing as a human being to just have another human being come and just throw you out of the way.
Yeah, just ragdolls.
Yeah.
Just kind of grabbed and just gone, yeah, goodbye. You're a waste of my time. I just be on the ground going, I'm never going to play in it. I'm retired. Yeah. I'm done. My career's over.
Just Andrew Luckett. Just think, nice. Call it time.
Pull Luke Kuechly and be like, yeah, no, not anymore.
I think it's interesting how we're all so in agreement about Derrick Henry and that we're all pretty solid. He's in the top 10, but it's almost as if he doesn't have that much competition at running back at the moment for that sort of top spot, because I know Dalvin Cook, Alvin Kamara, and Christian McCaffrey have all suffered with injuries. If we eliminate, and I know it's impossible to think.
And Saquon Barkley, who was out all last year with an ACL injury.
He got his ACL in the second year, so you can't really compare them. I don't think. I think he's not.
Cheers, by the way. Cheers to Saquon Barkley for being my first round pick in fantasy last year and then tearing his ACL in week 3 and completely killing my season. That was awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. What I'm trying, as I'm saying, is this year we're pretty solid in Derrick Henry, but if they all have seasons next year, he could drop quite a few places just from the density of the running back position.
It's a very tough position to be the best in for a while.
Yeah, well, it's weird because there are so many styles of running back now. Like, you got Christian McCaffrey, you can basically chuck in a receiver as well if you really want to. But he can also run around you or through you and all of that. But, then you got Derrick Henry, who will just aim to kill you. He will go through you by hook or by crook. And then you got Dalvin Cook and Alvin Kamara is a bit like McCaffrey, I guess. And then Dalvin Cook's, again, a bit more shifty, but he's still very strong runner.
And Saquon Barkley is also Derrick Henry-like and just absolutely massive and just terrifying.
So it's weird. It's just sort of depending on who you prefer play style wise, as opposed to who's actually got the best stats.
Yeah.
As opposed to
It's interesting with Derrick Henry. The funny thing, if you were defending against him, is when in rugby and a bit in American football, you always coach to use the sideline as an extra defender, sort of coast to the sideline. With Derrick Henry, you don't need to do it because Derrick Henry had the choice of run out of bounds or go through a cornerback.
Yeah,
he would use every time to go through the corner.
The thing is, most of the time he's running through the line, so you can't really use the sideline as an extra defender anyway. You just got to use the number you have on the field.
Yeah, you have to use all 11.
Yeah. His dominance kind of reminds me, and I'm going to do another rugby reference here, is Jonah Lomu. Just that pure, I will run through you and keep going without a care in the world.
Yeah. It's a great.
And the Fijian winger, Nadolo, if you have ever.
Yeah, Nadolo or Topsova.
Yeah, another one. He really shouldn't be playing wing. They basically put him on the wing so they can get him in one-on-one situations where he runs through people.
Yeah, they put him on the wing so that he can run through the smaller wingers.
Yeah.
It's just a bit of a cheat code.
Yeah, there's a lot of very scary rugby players nowadays that I watch, and I'm just and it's funny because there's people that are big, and then there's people that are okay, yeah, you're massive. What are they feeding you? One person. The first person that came to mind for me was Eben Etzbeth, even though he's, not that great of a person. He's just a terrifying, 6'8", 270 is a terrifying person to go against.
Yeah.
That's an inch taller than me and about 30 pounds lighter with a bunch of muscle.
He's just all muscle. And he loves to fight. I cannot stress enough, he loves to fight.
He loves to fight. Well, so do the two Longy brothers, but
Well, yeah. Yeah, there are 5 of them, and they all play professional rugby. There's another
professional family right there. Yeah,
professional family right there.
I just literally looked up the biggest players, the biggest size-wise players in rugby.
Have you seen the Tuolangi family all lined up together, all their brothers? Because there are 5 brothers. They all played pro. They all played at some point, and there is one forward in that group.
Yeah, Henry, Alessana, Freddie, and Sanele all have played.
Yeah. So Henry Tuolangi is the only forward in that group. He weighs 140 kilos at the time, I reckon.
There's the family.
Yes, him on the left. I think that's him on the left. Yeah, and he plays number 8, and apparently he trialed for England for a little bit, and I think James Haskell probably said it best. I think it's called the Good, the Bad, the Rugby podcast. James Haskell basically said, "You don't tackle the first man. Does not tackle him.
No,
the first man only slows him down. Yeah, you basically is whoever's brave enough to go in just head first into the spokes and just scream, 'I love you, mum. I love you, mum. I love you, mum,' and just go, huh,
I feel like that's the same way with Jonah Lomu, though. Like,
yeah,
that dude was where you weren't sending the first player and getting him. You were sending the third, the fourth, and the fifth to make sure he actually went down.
make sure he went to ground.
Like
Yeah,
he is. And then one player, I feel like, if we're talking players that would have no problem ever just jumping into someone like Jonah Lomu or the Tuolangi brothers, and I know I've gotten flack because he's my favorite player, and so you guys all automatically know who he is, but it's Faf de Klerk.
Yeah.
One of the craziest. What if you're talking about just a dude crazy enough to actually jump into somebody like Jonah Lomu?
yeah, it would be him.
It would be him, and he would somehow find a way to tackle him because I've just seen him make tackles.
There's another South African scrum half as well called Joost van Westhuizen.
Oh yeah,
who he was basically the '90s version of Faf de Klerk. He would just chat shite and then jump into anyone that came at him. So, South Africa and all that, they're just built different.
I'm just happy because Scotland's actually got some of those type of players that are willing to just go into anybody.
Yeah.
Like for me, Stuart Hogg is one person who I always I always see him going into a tackle, or Hamish Watson as well. Just those two just always seem to be getting into tackles.
Yeah. Well, it is also kind of Hamish Watson's only job.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, but it got him into the he got into the British and Irish Lions, so I mean,
yeah,
he does it fairly well.
Okay, I just realized we're talking. This is an American podcast.
Speaking of rugby, I will have a rugby show coming out in the next 2 weeks. We're starting a new rugby show that I will be the one hosting and being the one running. So, Joe, Billy, Jack, either of you guys want to come on? Literally, it's only going to be about rugby, and that's it. It's going to be a monthly show.
Well, all right, let's continue with our show. Yeah. Number 3. Number 3. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Also, this is where the points are really close. It's 26, and then there's a joint first at 28 points. So
yeah, I had Aaron Rodgers 4th.
I think I had him 2nd or 3rd.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's in TBP, so I don't think any of us could have.
You can't. Yeah.
I mean,
he deserves to be top 3 at least.
I mean,
I love how it's just 4 dudes with ADHD on this thing, so that we can never stay on.
Yeah. I mean, in fairness, like he did his usual disappearing act in the playoffs, get to the NFC Championship or the divisional. But yeah, I mean, he's just everyone's hoping if this is going to be his final year in Green Bay that he at least makes it one. To remember, if he, as we said when we were talking about the free agency podcast, if he has like a mediocre year this year, it's just going to be such a waste. He could have gone to so many other places. So let's hope him, and unless you happen to have the Green Bay Packers a lot in your team's schedule, let's hope they do something entertaining, something special this year, because otherwise it's going to be a bit disappointing.
Arsenal's just released their goal of the month.
Oh, no.
Their goals to pick from. There's apparently 7 goals, but like 2 or 3 of them are from the women's team.
Okay. I see what they've done there. I see what they've done there. Women's goals. The WSL is still quite high quality stuff. So I haven't seen it, but I presume they're all.
Apparently, it just got dropped. Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
But yeah, so we're all fairly agreed on.
Yeah,
I think the exciting bit is going to be we're going to have to vote between 1st and 2nd. I genuinely thought 1st was like
a done thing.
Yeah, so in which case either Billy and I disagree on who 1st was a done thing was, or Connor's bringing one of them down.
Yeah, they're a rogue choice. Okay, so give us the 2, Jack, and we'll go up and down.
So. There's Patrick Mahomes, point upwards. Aaron Donald, point down. Oh no! Connor's been disagreed with again.
Oh no!
Go on, Connor. Tell us why you picked Donald.
No.
I didn't put Mahomes first because
his name up.
I put Mahomes 3rd.
What? The guy throws diving.
How did he do in the Super Bowl? How was the Super Bowl?
Yeah, he didn't have an O-line. I mean, I'm not complaining.
How was the Super Bowl? He still lost. For me, Aaron Donald is the most dominant player in the entire NFL.
Tom Brady 5th?
I put Tom Brady 2nd.
Yeah.
Okay, I take that back. Okay.
Watch your mouth, Billy. I will unquote you from my tweet. Do not.
No.
I will claim that for myself. No, but I put Aaron Donald first, Tom Brady second, Pat Mahomes third, purely because Aaron Donald is the most dominant player in the NFL right now. Out of any position, there is nobody better in their position compared to everybody else than Aaron Donald at his position.
And he probably has been for the last 5 years.
And he has been consistently for the last since he pretty much joined the NFL. Yeah. And for me, Mahomes not winning the Super Bowl, or even it not being close, I get he doesn't have much of an O-line, but still, Tom Brady's had worse O-lines. Peyton Manning's had terrible O-lines consistently and still has 2 Super Bowls to his name. So, and you have a Hall of Fame coach like Andy Reid, who I'm not going to get into because that's a whole other episode.
We've already covered that.
Go to episode 3 for Andy Reid.
I don't disagree with you that Aaron Donald is like one of the most dominant players. And again, we've got that situation where one's on offense, one's on defense. They're not directly comparable in terms of like, especially this season, just showing how dominant and how like confident they are. I put Pat Mahomes ahead of Donald just because I feel like we've seen Donald do it for a few years. We know how good he is, but Pat Mahomes is just that exciting player, throwing on the dives and getting the diving for the extra 2 yards with his feet, making the play when it looks dead. I just think that's something. Although we see it, so like we do see it in the NFL, we don't see it as consistently as we do with Pat Mahomes. So that's why I personally put him first.
Yeah, I think it's a case of most talented versus hardest working. That's how I'm seeing it. Because like you see Aaron Donald doing all of his martial arts with the knives in the preseason. You see him doing his ladders. You see him doing his box jumps, his med ball stuff. So
benching 500 pounds.
Exactly.
He benches 500. By the way, crazy stat. DK Metcalf benches 375.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
For a wide receiver, that is crazy. And then because they did a podcast interview together, and Aaron Donald was asked, "Do you think you bench more than DK, who was next to him on the couch?" He's like, "Yeah, I think I do." And DK went. He hesitated. And they went, "Well, how much do you bench, Aaron?" He goes, 5. And he goes, 500. You just see. Look up the clip because DK Metcalf's next to him and he's just like smiling, and his face just disappears and drops into just horror of like 500.
Yeah, it's almost like he's embarrassed of it. It's like
he's like,
I should be able to do this.
He went, "Can I change my answer?"
Yeah.
But
yeah, and then, well, yeah,
he's just a terrifying individual.
He's a freak. He's a freak of nature, and he obviously deserves everything he gets. Like,
you know that he was called a bust coming out of college. He was called a bust.
That does ring a bell, actually. Yeah, wasn't he called like too small or something?
Yeah, he was called too. They said he wasn't going to be small enough to be able to play the position. They said that he's going to have to move and he's going to have to get smaller and move back to linebacker.
Yeah,
and instead he's become the most dominant defensive lineman we've seen in a decade.
Gone all in.
He kind of reminds me. His dominance reminds me of Lawrence Taylor, back the old Giants lineman who just dominated anybody and everything.
That's not a bad. I mean, apart from the position difference, that's not a bad comparison.
Just in comparison of like defensive line dominance.
Yeah.
I think he's had more dominance than J.J. Watt. When J.J. Watt was in his
J.J. Watt was probably dominant for like one season, maybe.
He was dominant for 4. He had 4 straight defensive player of the years.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, J.J. Watt.
Is that? No, surely not.
I don't know. Early 2010s, I think JJ, early to mid 2010s, JJ Watt was up there.
Yeah, most wins is Lawrence Taylor, JJ Watt, and Aaron Donald actually all tied for 3. But JJ Watt, when he won his 3 straight.
Did he?
3 in a row.
I think
all 3 of them did.
Okay, yeah, fair enough then. Like I think Aaron Donald's done 3 on the bounce as well now, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's done 3 on the bounce. It's been Lawrence Taylor had 3 on the bounce, and then JJ Watt had 3 on the bounce, and now Aaron Donald's taking over.
Yeah,
but I think those 3 are probably 3 of the 3 greatest defensive linemen of all time. If Aaron Donald can keep up this pace, and Aaron Donald could set himself apart as the greatest defensive lineman to ever step foot on the pitch, if he can continue if he can continue to dominate and win a couple more defensive player of the years, because he's not that old.
He's 30.
Yeah, Aaron Donald is not an old player. And, a lot of players don't retire until they're older. He's only 30. He's probably got 5 more years left. He wins 2 more Defensive Player of the Years and continues this fashion. He's the greatest defensive lineman to ever step foot on a field.
Yeah, no doubt. Not questioning it.
And that's why I put him in first. I think he has potential to be the greatest of all time, and that's why he's in first.
I mean, I think...
Do you not think the same about Patrick Mahomes, though?
Yeah, you can say
so about Patrick Mahomes. Watch Patrick Mahomes and think in 5 years' time he might have another 3 MVPs. And also,
no, because the difference for me with Patrick Mahomes only 25.
Yes.
He's got 5 more years till he gets to the age of Aaron Donald to continue to be this dominant. And he's got Dan Marino, Joe Montana, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Tom Brady. Let's not forget Brett Favre either.
Yeah.
All of these really incredible quarterbacks who did it for the entire careers.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see Peyton Manning's got it's literally all the records are shared between Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. So I think I won't say he's the greatest of all time yet. If he can continue this and start breaking down records, then he can maybe get into the top 5. But as of right now, he's not even one of my top 10 greatest quarterbacks of all time.
No, I don't think you can call him top 10. Yeah. Like he's one. He's looking. If he keeps pace, he definitely could be.
He could definitely be if he keeps pace, but he's got 5 more years to even hit Aaron Donald's age. And Aaron Donald right now is the top 3 greatest defensive lineman of all time with 5 more years to become the greatest. So that's why that's my difference between the two.
I mean, I'm going to go back to hardest working versus most talented. Patrick Mahomes makes it look so easy.
Yeah.
Like the stuff that he does is just unbelievable. Like he can sling a ball 40 yards horizontal.
Yeah.
And still get it in the vicinity of where it needs to be.
I was doing that before I threw up my rotator cuff.
Yeah.
That's if you weren't throwing it behind the back and things like
that. No, it's just like the way he just eases through throws. Like I think he is very similar to Brett Favre in my mind. Like the way he throws it just so easily, so quickly, on the money every time. Like it just keeps going. Like you could just keep. I could keep going about him like most of the time. Like just by spouting gibberish, I feel like that would just probably epitomize what I think of him. Like I don't really have many more words to say other than he's really, really good and my number one.
You know what's kind of funny is if you look at his stats from last year compared to 2019, they're better.
Yeah.
And it's not by a little bit.
Didn't he win the MVP in 2019?
Yeah. No, that was Lamar Jackson.
He was Super Bowl MVP, wasn't he?
He was
Super Bowl MVP, but he didn't. But Lamar Jackson won it. But so 2019. So yeah, 2018 was his MVP season because he threw for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns.
What a joke.
Last year, so 2019, he had an off year. He only threw for 4,000 yards with 26 touchdowns. And so he got pissed off and threw for 4,700 yards and 38 touchdowns.
Yes.
And in fairness, that's him with the running game now with Edwards-Helaire and...
So he's been playing, I think... So he's been playing since 2017, right? He joined the league in 2017?
Yeah.
4 years. His career stats is a 66% completion percentage, just over 14,000 yards thrown, 114 touchdowns, 24 picks, and a QB rating of 108.7.
Oh.
And his first year, he had no touchdowns and only 284 yards thrown. So basically, in 3 years, he's thrown for about 13,000 yards.
Ridiculous.
And 114 touchdowns in 3 years.
Just ridiculous.
If, like I said, if he keeps the pace, he's going to be one of the greatest of all time, but just not right now.
Yeah, fair enough. I can see that.
His birthday's coming up, funny enough.
So Google's telling you everything.
No, he's 26. He's 26 on the 17th, which is 5 days before my birthday. Which I turn the ripe old age of 22.
You're not showing it if it makes a difference.
No, that's rather kind of you because my fiance says I'm 22 going on about 35. And to be fair, she's not wrong. I've been getting offered beer since I was like 16 years old, which for you guys is fine, but for me, that's highly illegal by a lot of years.
Well, for us, it's insulting if it's any later than 16.
Yeah, no, at 16 I was being offered. At 16 I was being offered alcohol, people thinking I was in my 20s.
Jesus. Yeah, if you want to pass out in the field at the age of 14, you're not doing Brits right.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
I wish I could say I could get away with that, but I can't. And it's funny because, of course, we have the drunk live stream later today, and I'm going to be drinking water. Because I don't drink.
Uh,
Well, okay, that's not true. I drink, just very rarely. Shout out actually to my brother-in-law who actually works at a brewery and hooked me up with a box of, they're called vodka smashes.
wait, hang on. Wait, we're not taking sponsorship yet. Just so
I will take sponsorship though. If cut
we
water.
will
Cut water.
fully take sponsorship. But sorry, carry on. Just thought I had to inject there. Just
No,
Yeah.
I will drink one of their alcohols every single stream if they sponsor us. So I'll talk to Michael, see if he can get them to sponsor us.
I'd absolutely do that. Yeah.
Just one. Need a few more than that.
No,
They
again,
alcohol-
I don't. Again,
They're called smashes.
not
After
drink.
all. You got to do a few.
they're only 6% alcohol, so they're very low but they're very, very good. Again, I don't drink. I really don't. Like, I think I've had like that. Me having, I think, 2 of those at my sister-in-law's gender reveal party was the first time I'd had more than one tiny thing of alcohol in 6 months.
Wow. I mean, yeah. If you do, you, mate.
Yeah, but that was a fun party. That was a Mexican party. That was amazing. That was so much fun. Oh my gosh, man! They really know how to They really know how to party. Gender reveal, and it's just like, let's party.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. We'll fully buy you a snorkel if you down us. If they sponsor us, we'll buy you a snorkel and you do it. You just get a few down you. See what happens.
Well, I had a long college was a long experience, and so I swore off of really doing that after a year in college.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah, I blacked out once in college, and that's been. I passed out once in college, and that was enough.
Yeah. All right.
Should we go through our top 10 NFL one more time before we wrap it up, just so we can hear what our final decision was?
Right. We are saying TJ was above, right?
Yes.
TJ was higher. Yeah.
Okay.
We convinced
Okay.
Conor.
Not JJ.
Not JJ.
Hey.
JJ's not good this year.
Starting from 10, going up to first. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Travis Kelce, Devontae Adams, TJ Watt, Tom Brady, Derrick Henry, Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Donald, and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Right.
From 9 and 10, I'm pretty. I'd have had different 9s and 10s, but otherwise 8 down would be very happy.
I just realized 50% of them are quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Half the list are quarterbacks.
That's why we don't need Allen and Jackson at 9 and 10.
Exactly. Yeah. I was trying to fill out something a bit different, just give it a bit different, but no, have to keep it quarterback. Have to keep it QB.
Can y'all just have a moment of prayer for the U.S. men's national team? We're going to try and qualify for the World Cup starting today. So please pray. If you're watching, please pray for the United States men's national team that we can actually qualify for the World Cup this time.
No. Oh, no.
And the fact is, you want to know the sad fact? Is if you look at our qualifying group, like, it's really sad if we do not qualify, because our teams are Canada, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Jamaica, Mexico, and Panama.
Mexico are quite good. How many go through?
We beat Mexico the last 3 times this year.
Really?
Yeah, we beat them in every single final of the cups that we've had. So the CONCACAF final, we beat them in extra time. The Gold Cup final, we beat them in extra time.
I retract my statement.
Yeah, we've actually been... Well, I mean, it's a very good team. You would think, because it's Wes McKennie, Christian Pulisic, Giovanni Reina, Zach Steffen, who's the backup for City, John Brooke, who plays in Germany,
Tim
Ream's on there, who's all right,
and Anthony Jeddy.
Yeah, we also have Tyler Adams, who plays for RB Leipzig.
Deandre is in there, isn't he?
We also we have a very good team, so I'm really hoping.
We have a surprisingly good team. Like, it shouldn't be that
It's the golden era of the United States men's national team because we moved on. Like, Josie Altidore is not in the team. We don't have Landon Donovan anymore, of course. So it's a very young team. I think our average age is like 23 or 24.
I can't believe you just mentioned Jose Altidore before Clint Dempsey.
Yeah, Clint Dempsey. I love Clint Dempsey, but it's more because Clint Dempsey's been gone for a while.
That is true.
And Josie's still playing.
Just about.
Just about.
He's still playing. He's still playing. I think he's in Europe again.
I haven't seen him for a while.
No, he plays for Toronto FC here in the MLS. But that's crazy. He made his debut at 16 years old.
Oh, God.
So he's been playing for 15 years.
It's pretty good going.
Yeah, trust me. Oh, and we of course don't have Tim Howard, which
sad.
I love that man, but I'm okay with Zach Steffen. I think he's a decent player. But again, we're getting off track because I have the capacity of a squirrel.
Yeah, I think we've done well. We've come up with 2 top 10s. We've had some good debates. We've outvoted Conor quite a few times, which is
thanks for that.
But yeah, if you liked watching this sort of thing, different to what we've been usually doing, let us know below. Like the video, share it with your friends. It really does help the channel out, and we've really enjoyed making it. So thanks everyone for watching, listening. We hope you've enjoyed it, and if you're new, once again, don't forget to hit the like or subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, all that good stuff, and also don't forget we've got that merch out, so go and check that out too. So it's
50 likes and 100 views means I'm in a gorilla costume in the next episode.
Yeah.
Make it happen. Yeah. All right.
I had to set an unrealistic goal.
Guys.
Cheers.